can't sit any longer.
All right, Patreon. We are on episode, the 8th one that we've recorded this week. I mean, what?
What are you saying?
We are on our
Tell
8th
me.
recorded episode in this series. I still don't have a voice. We're tired of sitting.
So we stand
It's our
up and
last
dancing.
one, so we're standing for this
Sometimes
one.
we get a little sleepy during the last one too. So.
Yeah, Camille was up at the end of the last one, walking.
Yeah, I had
Standing.
to get up.
All right, so we're up, which is great. A different view for you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm glad I wore a skirt today because I was
Lucky
hot and
you.
I
sweaty.
kind of feel like we're like talking down to them.
Yes.
Like,
We are better. You will listen. Okay, shall we continue?
Let's
Yeah.
You
continue.
kind of started it.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so today we get to talk to Trent McEntire of Fire Up Your Brain.
Ooh.
He was born with cerebral palsy,
Oh.
and he is going to talk to us about how he overcame some of the challenges that came with it.
okay,
Well,
great.
that's amazing.
I like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm excited.
But before that, of course, we have to talk about something.
Okay, what are we going to talk about?
Oh, no. Where's your paper?
I think we did them all. The only thing left on there is the number one depth of despair. I don't know that we want to talk about that since this guy's like had cerebral palsy.
Yeah,
And,
our depths seem kind of dumb.
yeah. Let's
Okay.
talk about. I mean, we haven't even overcome our depths, and he had cerebral palsy and
Yeah,
everything. I feel
okay.
kind of dumb now.
Okay, so that intro is no longer going to work
Yeah.
very well.
This is the hardest part.
I
Coming up with topics. Hey, what about one of Marissa's topics?
Oh,
Maybe that
okay.
will spark something.
Here we go. This is what we're going to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
It is as follows. Where is the text?
That's a weird one. I don't want to
Here
talk
we
about
go.
that one.
Okay, an odd job you've had.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it. Tell me about an odd job you've had.
All right, I'll start. This is an odd job, but my least favorite job.
Okay,
Okay, in college, I worked in the creamery,
okay.
Okay.
which sounds great.
It sounds amazing.
Because I
Did you
love
have to
ice
hose
cream.
it out?
And no, like
Okay.
I just worked at the ice cream counter.
Oh.
But let me just tell you, that ice cream is not easy to scoop.
No.
Were your biceps just giant when you
Should've
got
been.
done?
Yeah.
People would come and I'd just see kids and they'd be wanting a shake. There's two kinds of shakes, guys. There's a soft serve shake and there's a hard ice cream shake.
Oh no.
The wrath when they would want a hard ice cream shake because it takes like 5 scoops of
Oh,
ice cream.
no.
Gosh.
How did you survive?
I don't know, but there was a plus
Steroids,
though
probably.
to that job.
Okay.
Every once in a while the freezer would go out.
Oh
And
yeah.
that was the greatest day because then we could take home those big like
No
gallon-
way.
I don't know
No.
how
Where did
many,
you
like,
even store those?
5 gallon
gallons.
buckets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I was in college. The thing is, when you're in college, your freezer's not very full.
No.
So I would bring
that's
home
true.
like 2 buckets
Oh
full.
my
Oh
gosh.
man.
And like one time it happened right before Christmas break.
Oh, best
and
case
so
scenario.
I got like 3 or 4 buckets of them. I can't remember. And then we just left for home in my brother's truck. And so we just kept them in the back of the truck and
They
just
stayed
freezing cold.
frozen?
Yeah. So I drove home and I had like 4 big buckets
You
full
were
of
a
ice cream.
hero that year.
Yeah,
They
you
They were
were.
like, get on back, Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Andrea's here.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good job.
actually, it was pretty
You
good.
know I have an ice cream scooping dream. It's just
You
one of those
do?
jobs I've
Really?
always wanted to do. Always wanted to work in an ice cream place and scoop that ice cream. Probably because my deep love for ice cream.
Well, it's not a
Probably.
great job.
But my arm, man, your shoulders were probably so
Oh
toned.
yeah.
You were like, do you want a milkshake? And you just scoop that milkshake.
Yep.
That sounds like a good job.
Yeah, that does.
It was okay, but I only worked there for a semester, and I got a good library job.
The plush stuff.
Yes.
I feel like college I did just all the random things. Because I used to like get up at 3 a.m. and clean the like MC.
You still do all the random things.
That is true.
I've always
Yeah.
just been a
It's just
random.
part-
I
it's
was
part of
never
who you
intended
are.
for a career.
No,
I was only meant to do weird stuff my whole life. Clean the MC at 3 a.m. and then go to school, and then in the afternoon I'd go to the call center and do calls. But then I hated doing phone calls because they did. You guys know this problem. It was always like pharmaceutical surveys. Imagine me trying to pronounce those words. Picture for a moment me. First of all, I have to convince a doctor to talk
Hello,
to me.
sir or madam. Would you like to please rate amitriptyline?
Every time I ask Danny for Tylenol, I'm like, can I please have some acetaminophen? And he's like, are you serious? Beth, it's not that hard to say. I was like, just give it. I mean, I need it. So then, first of all, doctors, Andrea, I'm sorry, but not all doctors are kind.
Okay.
Your husband's a doctor.
Not all PAs are kind.
But they're nicer than doctors.
Not all denim wearing shirt people are nice and kind.
You get a doctor on the phone that may or may not be kind. Although if they're willing to talk to me, they probably were. And then I just start butchering word after word, and they would correct me and deep sigh, and it was a nightmare. And I just sat there sweating, like, have you ever prescribed a patient clomidine? Domicin. And he's like, okay, you're a moron. It was horrible. So I quit that and just opted to
all
clean.
call jobs are horrible.
Yeah. So I cleaned the call center. I just
Yeah.
talked to my boss. I'm like, well, I'm bad at this. Can I clean it at night?
He's like, usually people go the other direction.
Yeah.
Sure. If you think a
I'm
step
happy
up
to demote
is
you.
to clean, go for it.
Yeah. So
Can I use the vacuum?
do you have a doused
Jouster.
pan?
A doused pan.
Is that a long U or a short? I don't know. English is hard. So it was horrible. Like, I'm just so glad you guys know me well enough to know that was a nightmare.
That's
It was like the worst. And then I'd go give plasma after that, and then I'd bop over to Wingers and work a shift there, and then I'd go make some sandwiches at Quiznos, and then I'd get my rollerblades on and go to Sonic. And then just Melaleuca, because I was a hot shot, and I only went in a couple days a month to sell the Melaleuca products. I was doing things, but never a career.
That's amazing. You've had more jobs in one semester at college than I've had in my entire life, I think.
Accurate.
My least favorite job of all time was the call center. Not only was it just absolute horror show to have to do it. It like so wildly uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
But it was actually uncomfortable because they kept it at right around like 55 degrees and they made me wear a dress, which makes no sense because no one can see you. And so I was bitter on top of bitter, and that was 6 months. But one of my favorite jobs was that I was a gardener, and I did love that. That was fun. That's when I learned that I actually liked to be outside, and that I liked gardening. I thought I hated it. I started the job as a temp, just putting up Christmas lights on the beautiful grounds, and it was supposed to only be just like a 3-month job, but they kept one person on as a gardener. And they said to me, like, do you like gardening? And I was like, yes.
I do it
well,
all the time.
in my heart, I knew I hated it.
Yeah.
And they said, we would like you to be a gardener. And I was like, beautiful. Let's do this. And I learned to love it.
So
I
you're a
did
great
love
gardener
that.
now. Like, that is the gift that keeps
That
on
was
giving.
actually, like, probably my most beneficial job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, cleaning this call center did nothing for me. I gave up on that. I don't clean anything anymore.
I was also a bag girl at a grocery store.
Oh, that sounds fun, too.
And it wasn't bad, but they made you go through a 3-day training.
Wow.
On, like, all day on how to bag groceries, because this particular grocery store placed every year at the national bagging competition.
Is this true?
I would want to do that.
You would be good at it.
I have visions of being the best bagger ever.
Is it speed or just precision?
Both.
Wow.
Oh, you have to be
You're
good.
two-handed.
Oh, yeah. And
yeah,
you know
now
what?
the self-checkout at Walmart is like such a big thing.
Yes.
I pride myself on like being like, I'll look at the checker that's
Yes.
like the worker. And I'll be like,
Yeah.
I've got you, girl.
I got
And
you.
then we start at the same time, and I'm like, yep, I'm beating her. I'm beating her.
I'm telling you.
That would be like I could totally do that job.
I will never forget one of the... I actually have to unpack my bags now and repack them when they're done badly, because it makes me crazy. But one of my best days at bagger training, it was me and one other normal person and an old lady who for some reason was going to be a bagger, right?
Yeah.
And so part of the bagger duties that you don't often hear of are barf, pee, and poo duty.
What?
Like if
Really?
something happens in the aisles, it is the bagger.
What?
Yes, that has to go deal with it.
No, I don't want that job.
Okay, so we were getting trained on how to deal with those kind of catastrophes.
Yikes.
And so the teacher was like, how do you think you clean up barf? And the old lady, was so enthusiastic. She became my favorite person because she was like, oh, let me think. Oh, water with a mop, and she kept guessing, and they were like, no, no, none of those. Kitty litter. And she was like, oh, brilliant, kitty it up, and you sweep it away.
Wait, that's a great tip.
That
So
is
there
a
you
great.
go.
Can you use that on carpet?
Yes. So you sprinkle kitty litter on any fluid, and it soaks it up, and you can vacuum it or sweep it away.
Wow.
Whoa.
There you go.
That is actually a good tip.
That's a good tip.
That's
So there you
amazing.
go. She was properly enthusiastic,
Yes.
and I worked there for a while until I quit.
Like all my jobs.
Like all my jobs, that
Worked
is what
there
I
for
did.
a very brief time.
And then
And
I
I
quit.
Yes. I have that a lot. One of these days I'm going to count up how many jobs I've had.
You should. I
Oh,
bet it's
absurd.
dozens and dozens and dozens.
Absurd.
Yeah.
I was great at
You have a
switching.
lot of good
Wow.
energy.
All right. Well, now that you know where we've worked, we're going to talk to Trent about nothing related to work at all.
All right.
So,
Perfect.
enjoy.
We all worked in a call center. Actually,